Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So today we're going to do in this video chapter 10 verse 11, and I got very emotional when I was reading both of them, the commentaries of both of them. It's such a sweet verse. So the previous verse, Bhagwan Sri Krishna had said that when somebody is engaged in loving devotional service to him, then actually let's just read it very quickly. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Those who are constantly devoted, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So the commentary had said that our intellect is material. We cannot understand Bhagwan Sri Krishna with our material intellect because that understanding him is spiritual. It's much, much higher act than the material act. So he is the one who gives us that understanding. So now he deepens it further, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So let's sing the verse together. Teshamevanukampartham aham jnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. What he's saying now, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So I dwell in their hearts, that's Paramatma. So to show them special mercy, those who are constantly devoted to me, I, who Paramatma, who's dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. I don't know why this is hitting me so hard. I'm like, thank you, please. I need that so desperately, please. Okay, so the commentary says that people used to think that Lord Chaitanya, when he was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that he was just a sentimentalist fool, but actually he is very learned scholar, and who understands the deeper. Because they think that we can just use the mind to understand. The impersonalists think we can just use the mind to understand, but like in the previous commentary, Swami Mukundanand said our mind is material. We cannot understand the Supreme Lord with our mind. It's not possible. So this intellect has to be given by Krishna, and he says here that those who are devoted to me in loving devotional service, I give that understanding to them. And here also he's saying, I dwell in their hearts, and I destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness of ignorance. So um, yeah, so due to contamination of material association through, no, wait, this is what. You can speculate about God for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the Supreme Truth means Krishna, so if he is not a lover of Krishna, then by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of a pure devotee. So you can speculate for however long. You're never really going to understand Krishna. You can go to Brahman Jyoti, of course, but you will not be able to understand Krishna. You'll be able to understand the sunshine, not the sun. Okay, so this is just beautiful. He says, he elaborates further the concept of grace. So he had said that in the previous verse that those who lovingly absorb their minds in him make him the paramount object of their plans. He reveals what happens when somebody receives his grace, and that is that he destroys the darkness with the lamp of wisdom, darkness of ignorance that is there in their hearts. Now, ignorance is symbolized as darkness, and what is this lamp of wisdom? And this is so beautiful. He's saying that our senses, mind, and intellect are all material, right? That makes sense. Hence, we're unable to see God. God is divine. So we're not able to see him, hear him, know him, or be united with him. But when God bestows his grace, he confers his divine Yogmaya energy upon the soul. And this is, so there is Satguna, Tamoguna, Rajasguna, right? The three modes of, the three gunas, the three modes of passion. Shuddha Sattva, divine mode of goodness, is above. This is transcendental. This is distinct from Sattva Guna or mode of goodness. It is above. The Sattva Guna is still material. It's good. And it's much, much, much better than even Rajas Guna, and it's much, 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 much better than Tamas Guna, right? There's a huge difference between Tamas Guna and Rajas Guna and Sattva Guna. So being in Sattva Guna is necessary, and whatever areas of our lives we are in Tamas Guna, we can keep moving ourselves first to Rajas Guna and then to Sattva Guna. move step by step higher and higher. But once we come to Sattva Guna, we want to attain Shuddha Sattva. I didn't know what it was called, Shuddha Sattva. Like I knew that there was a transcendental level above the spiritual level, above the material Sattva Guna, but yeah, to get to the transcendental level, you have to get to Sattva first. It's a staged thing, right? So Shuddha Sattva is that. So when we receive that Shuddha Sattva energy, our sense, mind, and intellect become divine. To put it simply, God bestows his divine senses, divine mind, and divine intellect to the soul. And when we are now equipped with all these divine instruments, then we're able to see God, hear God, know God, and be united with God, because that's the things that he said. We're not able to do that with our material senses, mind, and intellect. Senses, mind, and intellect, he had explained these three things in chapter 3, that we have senses and then mind, and mind is higher than senses, and then intellect is higher than mind, and soul is higher than intellect, in one of the verses in chapter 3. Okay, so yeah, with equipped with these divine instruments, we're able to see God, hear God, know God, and be united with God. Only by God's grace, he's quoting someplace here, does one gain divine knowledge. And then Sri Krishna uses the torchlight of wisdom. That's what is the wisdom, right? What is this lamp of wisdom? It is senses, mind, and intellect, that the darkness of material energy is dispelled. So it's just very, 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 very beautiful verse. And we can just beg when we're chanting, when we're thinking of God, when we're praying, we can just beg for his mercy, because his mercy is completely dependent on him. This is one thing that I learned in the classes that I've been attending recently, that we cannot plan this. Like, the path of bhakti is not a path where we can say, okay, I do this and I'm going to get these results. That's not how it works. I can chant all day long continuously. I can completely be absorbed in God all day long, 24/7. That does not mean that I'm going to attain bhakti. That does not mean that I'm going to understand the absolute truth. The actions are in my control, but the results are not in my, and the results of nothing are in my control. But especially in bhakti, it is God's grace that is the only way that I'm going to understand anything, is God's grace. So where I can do this for decades and not feel anything, and it is God who decides, who chooses by his independent will, okay, now I'm going to shine this torchlight of wisdom to this person. The Paramatma inside will be like, okay, so you have to just beg for God's mercy. Just beg, please, 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 Bhagwan, please help me understand you. Please help me know you. Please help me, reveal yourself to me. Please give me wisdom. Please help me understand. Please help me dispel doubts. Please help me dispel ignorance. Please help me dispel my anarthas. Please help me dispel my anger. Please help me dispel my fears. All of that. We just beg. We beg. Please, 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 please. I beg you, please. And then it's up to God when he chooses to do that. When he chooses to give us the his love. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 10, verse 12 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.